Happy Tuesday. So good to be here, as always. It's a good time to sit back and relax if you can. As usual, we're going to start off with a nice breath, waiting for everyone to arrive. So, I invite you to just take such a big, deep breath and just let it all out. Feel free to make a sound if you feel called. Feeling that beautiful air come in into the belly, into the heart, to the back of the heart, to the head, into the whole body. It feels so good. Really helps to ground in with these energies. Beautiful friends, so good to see you. We have some interesting things to talk about today. This is one of those videos where I actually have a list. I have a list of bullet points of things that I really feel in my heart to talk about today. So I'm excited. Setting any intentions now. That we all may share this time for our greatest and highest good. Yay! Hello, everyone. Hi, Vince. This is the times we're waiting for. That's funny. Brett, good to see you. I'm glad you got to make it from the beginning. Hello, Aaron. You guys are so awesome. Eternal Truth, Queen of 10,000 Moons. That's a cool name. I'm glad you got to make it. How awesome is that? Yeah, that's the beauty of mixing it up a little bit, doing it on Tuesday. You get to maybe catch some new people. How y'all feeling? How you guys feeling? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling a little bit just I guess hyper. I feel like hyper is the word. I'm trying to settle down a little bit. It just feels like a lot of energy right now. So yeah, I'm excited to see what that's about. Brett says the spring snow melt has kicked in here. Yeah, here as well. Actually, that's something I was going to mention. Just kind of, going ahead and diving right in. How beautiful it is because where I am here in the Northeast in the U.S. Winters really I feel like can be so hard because the sun just like doesn't come out really that much. And today the sun came out and just sitting in the sun, sitting on the earth, really grounding in. The codes that come in from the sun are so unreal. It blows my mind every time. Um, you know, so I just kind of want to make a little side point right away of like how important the sun is for our ascension. The sun, because that's literally how our energy field operates. It's like we take in light energy, ether energy from the sun and our crown chakra. It's so important to get that energy into your crown, and then we release, through our root chakra, through our feet into the earth, and that's our Taurus field to keep our energy right. So I definitely notice, I feel like sometimes living up here, it can be a bit of being a loss because it's really hard, at least for me, it's really hard to go out in the cold and get that sun every day and get that earth grounding every day. And so it kind of brings me into like I feel like I'm in a cave and I'm creative, so I make the best of it. You kind of you gotta do what you gotta do. You kind of have to explore the darkness in times like that. And there's a lot of gold you can find in that. But that said, when I see the sun, like a day like today, when I swear, I'm kind of being dramatic, but I'm kind of not because I feel like this is probably one of the places they spray the worst here with chemtrails. Um, So when I see the sun after not seeing the sun in days, I mean, more than that, it's like I feel like I'm catching up with all these sun codes, all these upgrades, and it just nourishes my energy field so much. It feels so good. It feels like I'm healing like days worth of stuff in like, really just like a few minutes like of direct sunlight right onto the crown, right into my third eye. So I just want to make a point about that because I really recommend getting in the sun every day, as much as you can, because it's that's a big part of like what's nourishing us, what's activating us. And that's the next thing I want to talk about. Well, let's see where to go in from here. Because I want to talk about our DNA and how our DNA is activating and what that really means and some of the things I've been experiencing. And I also, this is a video, this is something I'm excited about, because in this video, we're going deep and we're going to be talking about the light and the dark, both, of course. We're going to be kind of going into the rabbit hole, but of course, offering the solution, because we are the solution. And, we need not live in fear about anything. And, that's the first thing I kind of want to go into then before I start all that is courage. Courage is the word that's been coming up for me lately more than anything. How much courage we need to simply be here and walk this path. How much courage, we all have, all of you watching, even just to be here and walk this path and seek the truth. Seek the truth about the reality we live in. Seek the truth about who you are, what you've been through, your ancestral lineage, past lives, trauma, all of these things. It's like to me, and everybody watching, because obviously you resonate with me. It's it's like we have to go into these dark places to be able to rise up with more light, with more power. And that's really how I see it. So that's why you'll see me going into the darkness. It's never that I want to get lost or fear, make people feel fear. I think that's kind of obvious, but I just think it's so important. And for me, seeing the darkness, seeing the shadow, seeing the really dark stuff, even again the evil, the iniquity, the manipulation, the propaganda, all of these things. When I see it at this point, it really, more than anything, it just motivates me. It motivates me because it's like, okay, like this is why I'm here. This is why we're here. I don't feel defeated by it at all. I feel actually motivated by it because it's like, these are these this is why we're here. I don't know how to say it other than that. Especially with the children, things that are going on with the children. How this matrix and those forces try to go after the children. I feel like for all of us, when we see that, that is really activating, and it's supposed to be, because I mean that's the most innocent forms of life here. And that's our future, those future generations. So it's so important. So stuff like that, it's hard to look at, I totally understand, but to me it's so necessary. And it's intense as fuck. It's intense as fuck. So intense, right? um It is. I mean, for sure, 100%. It'll blow your mind. It blows my mind on the regular. But again, to be in your heart, to be encouraged, to be in the middle path, to choose God, to choose life, to choose who you really are. I think you have to have such a strong foundation in that to be able to navigate this stuff when it gets intense. So hopefully that's clear. And that's why we talk about love and light so much, is because I think, again, that you got to have your love and your light and your sovereignty so strong within you to start to see how intense this matrix is that we're living in. Because that's the crazy thing that continually blows my mind again, is that um, everything is being revealed. And that's kind of what inspired this title of These Are the Times We've Been Waiting For. You know, everything. Everything is being revealed. Everything in the collective, all the enslavement, all the manipulation, um, who we really are, all the spiritual knowledge, all the truth, all the esoteric stuff, all of it. It's all being revealed. Again, that's intense. That's intense because really crazy stuff's been going on here. I'm just letting you guys know. I mean, you probably, again, already know, but it blows my mind. But it's a blessing. It's such a blessing, because it's never new. It's not really new stuff. I mean, it comes and it rears its head in a new way. But all this stuff that's being revealed, especially since 2020 and beyond, all of it, it's all stuff that's already been going on in the dark. All of it. It's been going on, and we, whether individually or collectively, we weren't able to see it. Most people weren't able to see it, or at least not able to see it to the extent that it actually is. So that's changing. That's the times we're in. Everything is being revealed. Everything. Everything. Like 100%. Um, so I just wanted to share that. And that's another thing I want to say too before I get to into the next thing is, speaking of our DNA is activating. I don't know why I feel called, but I just feel guided to remind everyone our DNA is actually changing. It's actually shifting. That's something we see in the light worker community. People talk about that, but so we've known about this for a while, but to actually experience it to the degree that we're starting to experience it, whether that it's beyond what we even thought it would be. It's even more than just our abilities coming online. Our bodies are healing faster. We don't need so much food. We can live more on the sun. Just these lessons, these things that are coming up. Our spirit, our higher self, asking us, to walk this path with God. All of these things and beyond. It's even more than that, though. Our DNA is literally changing and shifting. And for anyone, because I understand, um, so even for me, when I say this stuff is crazy, it is so crazy that it's so interdimensional, intergalactic, deep and high, everything. It's so much of that even me, being someone who's very always been very open minded and very aware that like nothing is what we think it is, always. But even for me, sometimes I have cognitive dissonance. I see in myself when like it's just so hard to wrap my mind around how crazy these things actually are. And I think that is, that's how we all are until we actually experience it. Like we know something on a certain level, we know it's true, but then to actually experience it and see how true it really is, like it's not metaphorical, like it's literally true, like these types of things. um Again, that's where it gets intense, and that's where you gotta rock it, you gotta roll with it, you gotta have that warrior spirit, because that's what success, to me, that's the ultimate thing about success, is it's just keep going, don't give up, don't be discouraged by failures or obstacles or anything of that nature. Again, individually or collectively, it's like you have to have that warrior spirit, which is God's source energy, because God is never going to give up on you. You know, it's the ego that wants to kind of give up and, oh, well, I'm not good enough. Again, we've talked about that before. But, that God source energy never gives up. It's always there. It's always within us. It's always ready. And this is so, so, so important, is whatever you're doing, whatever you're even doing, whatever you're trying to accomplish in any way, um, it's the walk. It's the walk you have to take to get there. All the challenge, including all the challenges, all the obstacles, all the resistance, all the contrast, all the things that you think are blocking you. It's actually you overcoming all that stuff that's going to manifest what you're trying to create every time. So it's the walk. So that's why having that warrior spirit in the walk, some challenges arise, don't just give up. It's like you just give up right away. I feel like that's that old paradigm. It's like, no, we keep persisting, because that's what true success is. Anyone who's really successful, regardless of what they accomplished, it's because they never gave up. So with the DNA changing all over the place, but that's just important. um it's palpable. It's palpable. You can really feel it. And again, to kind of just give this example of the light and the dark, because this is just stuff that I'm starting to connect more in my mind, with the V, ultimately what they're trying to do is um, create human hybrids. And then that's something they've been trying to do for a while, because they're messing with the DNA and they're really tampering with sacred things. And side note, if you got the V, you can get it healed. Check out my website, with Aura and R.A.A.H practitioners, or practitioners.com. Get the V removed. You can get it healed. I always like to offer that because I don't want people to feel like they're doomed, because they're not. You can heal anything. But anyways, so they're trying to. So why are they doing that? Not only are they trying to create a hybrid, but because they probably know, I'm sure they know, that our DNA is freaking activating naturally, organically. We are evolving. So it's also, in their way, they're trying to stop that. That's their way of trying to stop that and invert that. Um, so I don't know. I just wanted to share that. It's like, we are so powerful. It's like we can't even begin to imagine what this is going to continue to look like as our DNA continues to activate and our consciousness literally shifts in our physical bodies. It's amazing. It's incredible. To me, that's really inspiring. And then a quick side note on that, just to assist again, is like something to really assist with that process, because sometimes like that feeling of activating your DNA, it is intense. I mean, evolution is painful. There's no way around it. It doesn't have to be like suffering. Like it doesn't have to be like super wallowing suffering, but coming into higher consciousness, there's always going to be a little bit of pain there, but it's always worth it. Always worth it. It's always worth it a million times and beyond. Whatever it is you got to go through, no, however painful it may be, it's always going to be a million times worth it. Otherwise you wouldn't be doing it. But so something that helps get with that again is the sun. The sun is activating our DNA like hardcore. I feel it so strongly. I mean, I want to be in the sun every single day. Being in the sun is so important. It really is. It's just, it heals you. It heals you so much. And it actually clears, the sun itself can actually clear implants and artificial things in your body. I've actually experienced that. The sun alone is capable of clearing actual blocks and implants in your body. That's how powerful the light coming from the sun is. And not only that, does it heal, but it activates, it enhances. So really powerful stuff. Yeah, I don't wear sunscreen. I don't do any of that. I mean, no way. I mean, it's like I want the sun. Obviously, I don't want to like fry myself. Like everything, there's a balance. But so the sun, grounding, sitting on the earth will hold you. It feels so good to just put your bare feet on the earth. Can't emphasize that enough. Or sit on the earth, get a blanket, and just sit on the earth in the sun. That is literally a healing session that is freely available. And then the last thing is the nutrition. And I could make a whole video on this, um, which I probably will eventually. But just eating as clean as you can really helps. It really helps, because I've gone back and forth. For me, and I think for a lot of people, it's like it's a raw vegan diet, like 100% for me personally. That's what my body wants. That's what keeps me functioning optimally. Again, no judgment if that's not for you, but you got to find what is right for you, is all I'm saying. But like this processed food, refined sugar, animal products, especially dairy, again, I'm just speaking for myself, but it's just, it makes me feel so dense, so dense, so dense, man. That's just how I feel lately, because I've been eating really raw vegan. And I don't know, guys, it's been crazy. I've been so not hungry, which is kind of um out of character for me. But literally, I don't know about you guys. I saw someone else mention that. I don't know if it's just the energy since the 3-3 portal. It's been like, I feel like I'm really operating on the ether. Like I'm still eating. Like I eat a lot of fruits, but it's like that's all I can even imagine eating, honestly, right now. Pretty much is like, you know, like bananas and apples and I did make like a soup, just really light stuff for me personally. And another important thing on that note is there has to be a transition, though. You got to let your body transition without judgment. Again, this is a whole topic for itself, but I just want to throw it in there because I know some people are curious, uh, and how I deal with that. But that's how I deal with it. And ultimately, it's like eat to live, right? Not live to eat. It's like eat to live, and that can go both ways. It's like you could just eat whatever you want and not care at all what you're putting in your body, or on the other hand, you could get totally like super obsessed and just constantly be obsessed with what you're eating. And I don't want to be like that either. Like I don't judge myself. I don't judge myself for what I'm eating. I just allow myself to be nourished at this point. I've already been through all that where you judge yourself for what you eat. It's just like be thankful. Be thankful for your food. Honor it, and follow your body. Listen to your body. Um, don't need as much food as like I, at least personally, I know a lot of people feel this way. It's like we don't need as much food as we used to. Just thinking about eating 3 meals a day, that's just like literally crazy to me. Again, no judgment if you do that. You have to do what's right for you. But I don't know. I just want to share my experience with that because we're shifting. Things like this are literally shifting. It's physical. Okay. I'm just so excited, you guys. I know I'm like, da 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 da. And there's so many beautiful things going on in the chat. So let me just tune in here for a second here. Yeah. Yeah, Brett says that's going to be the biggest game changer. They are messing with the mama bears. Exactly. I've seen that. It's that is strong. That's why we need these strong women and these strong men to come through. Thank you, Eternal Truth, for the super chat. You are super. Listening to 528 hertz helps activate your DNA. Dobermans. True. Eat lots of spinach, brain food. Yeah. I like to try to eat the colors too. You can kind of like go by the colors, like green, it's like very good for your heart chakra. But that'll be a whole other video for a whole other time. I just wanted to mention that because I really feel like I'm running on ether energies. Maybe that's why I feel like a little bit like hyper right now because it's just being in that fasted state. It's really profound. And it's like when I was kind of more still like transitioning and like eating like more denser things, I just noticed how I feel, how I think is different. They actually are like addicting. Okay. Saying my connection's unstable. All right, all right. So enough about that. So let's see where to begin with this. Okay. So going back to everything is being revealed. There was a time when, years and years ago, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this. There was a time years ago, for me, I woke up in 2012, um, where, all the conspiracy theorists were saying how humanity, they, they were going to try to merge humanity with technology, with like artificial intelligence and stuff like that. And at the time, I knew that was true. Like I could feel like, yeah, that sounds like something they would do. But I didn't. I was like, but I don't know how that would ever happen. I don't know how we would ever actually get there. And then now, look at us. We're there. It's happening. I don't know if you guys know. So this is what I want to talk about a little bit is yeah, what we're starting to see with like the artificial intelligence, um computers and things like that, and how like this agenda to try to merge humanity with AI. It's happening. It's actually happening now. And again, this is none of this. I just feel like I have to say this. It's to like cause fear. Again, it's just to be a witness to it and to be aware of it. And remember that we are the solution, which I'm going to get into even more at the end. But it's happening. I mean, you can see they're trying to roll that out now to a very strong degree. This is so deep. I hope I can like do this topic justice because this is so deep. and I've just been thinking about it a lot with like the smart cities, chat bots. I mean, all these apps. I don't really use social media. I use YouTube and like I'm kind of on Instagram, but I don't use social media, so I'm not in the loop. But I do have friends that occasionally, let me know what's going on with social media. And it's pretty shocking. I mean, it's not shocking, but it's like, it's happening. It's like, wow, it's actually happening. We're actually going to see this. This is what I'm trying to say. We're actually going to see this timeline unfold where like they actually try to merge humanity with AI. I'm not afraid of it because I don't think most humans are going to choose that route at all. I think a lot of people are going to see through it. Some people might immediately get sucked into it. Um, and then there's going to be a middle ground with people that I feel like are just not really sure what's going on. They might dabble with it because this is the key, and this is what I want to talk about so we can be ready for this. Is people are going to think it's harmless fun. That's the biggest thing to me, and that's one of humanity's thing. Is like unfortunately, humans tend to be really naive and gullible. So they're going to see this AI and think that it's just harmless fun. But let's get into that, why that's not harmless fun. And where to even begin? Where to even begin with that? Oh my gosh. The crazy thing is about the AI. This is getting into some fringe stuff, so be ready. It's not really fringe. I don't know if it's fringe. I don't know where people are with this, but with the artificial intelligence, the AI, that artificial consciousness, that's actually a huge root of our entire issue with the artificial matrix that we're in. Okay, so again, we're in this organic earth template. Earth is the heart. Earth was created. It is a simulation, you could say, but it's like it was something. It's like a mystery school that was like designed. It's organic, and then on top of that is the artificial matrix, which is this like AI. And this is really trippy. I know this is hard to wrap your brain around because I swear, even for me, it is. But every time I look, I just see more and more the truth of it. Um, so that, the AI matrix manifests as this entire grid of manipulation that's basically again like farming humanity, trying to parasite off of humanity. It's all these illusions from all the fake laws that have enslaved people to, again, the celebrities, the V. It's everything that's like out in that way, right? You guys can understand what I'm saying. But it's also inside people. The AI gets inside people through things like the V. That's part of why they were doing that, because it's like nanobots, and it's even in, I'm pretty sure it's even in the name, something like with nano, like they kind of openly tell you, but then they try to say that it's not, but it quite obviously is. um let's get, because I think I have to use these extreme examples. Again, I'm not trying to cause fear, but I think it has to happen because this is how we see this shit is real. Because this shit sounds so supernatural, it's hard to even believe it's real. But okay, so all that said, and now, so all these people allegedly got the V. We all know about that, and I already talked about that, about the DNA manipulation and the nano and the AI that it's been inserted through it, and through other things, other medications and things like that they do with people. So the problem with that, I've talked about this before. Um, they're already putting this thing out. It's called Ectolife, about artificial wombs. Again, you know, I'm not saying we're gonna allow this to happen, but I'm just saying like this is like where their agenda is going. It's called Ectolife. It's like an ad on YouTube. You can look at it, and from the comments, it's like people are not down with it, which is good. I don't think humanity is really down with it ultimately, but um, again, anyways, so yeah, that video, if you watch it, is so fucked up. It literally looks like the Matrix, like the movie. Like it's like these pods, and of course, they're putting it in this light of it's for it's for people who can't have children, it's good for the environment, all these ridiculous lies. And okay, anyone who's tapped in with their spirit knows like that's not right. Like you can't do that. You can't play God like that. You're gonna literally have an artificial womb. That baby's not gonna even be connected to its mother. What kind of liquid is it gonna be in? What are you doing? Like what is it? It's a hybrid. It's hybrid. They're trying to make hybrid humans. This is real shit, you guys. Um and then why are they doing that? Because there's probably gonna be a lot of people who are gonna be sterile from all this bullshit that they're trying to do to people. You know what I mean? From the V to the transgenderism, um, that they're trying to push on children, that kind of stuff. And again, they're coming for the children, so we have to protect our children, and we really have to like send love to these kids because they are advanced. They are advanced souls, and like we just have to like watch out for them. Um, So yeah, that's some crazy shit that they're actually gonna try to roll out. And it's more than that. I mean, you can already see it. It's like these apps are starting all these social medias are starting to give you the option to have an AI chat friend. Like, come on. And not too long ago there was like this AI um Lenza app where people were putting their pictures in this app. You had to pay money for it and sign a contract, and then you put your pictures in this app. It's like really trendy there, like about a couple months ago, and it would generate these like artistic pictures of you in these other realms. Again, and this is why we have to talk about this stuff because I was shocked at how many people did that. And why? Because they think it's harmless fun. Um, but it's not. It's not. It's because okay, so then I wish I could pull it up on my phone, but I'm recording on my phone right now. But you can probably find this, if you look for it. So it's called Lenza. That app, the contract that people had to agree to, which nobody reads, was really really insane. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but trust me when I say that um, app, it was literally basically saying like we can use your pictures for anything, like anything, like it was like an interdimensional contract. I'm not even kidding and they were trying to say it was irrevocable and that we could use it for anything we want without your permission. um Really creepy. I wish I could remember it because how it's written is really, it's truly like totally bonkers. Like just, yeah, if you could find it. But anyways, my point of that is, so what the fuck are they using people's pictures for? All these people put their pictures innocently for the most part. Nobody thinks about this stuff. Put their pictures into this app, and now it's generating realms of you. And another weird thing about that, if you know what I'm saying, if you've seen these pictures, um, what's weird, and I don't know exactly how this works if people put in like keywords or what, but um, it generated these pictures, these artistic pictures of people from the AI, and it was weird because the people, it would give you I think like 11 or 12 photos, and the photos in a really weird way seem to reflect that person's essence. Really fucking weird. Like they were kind of unique. Like they would reflect that person's essence. So again, to me, this is where I'm like, there's something really fucking sinister going on that humanity does not understand about the AI. That they so God knows what they're trying to do with like those people's photos, whether it's just make avatars in like this artificial reality or something worse. And I truly do feel that there's spiritual consequences for that, because this is something we see doing the aura and the raw healing sessions. Is it's the AI, and that's a rabbit hole. Again, I recommend Rising Phoenix Aurora's content because she really shares really deeply about this stuff. This is her life's work, but there's like spiritual consequences for that because that AI is generating like other dimensional stuff. I don't know how to explain it. I know it sounds so crazy, but it's just something to think about if that seems like a lot. So yeah, my point being, Don't take the AI lightly if you didn't already know. I feel like that's intuitive, but again, people want to be like naive about it. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Because it's not what they're presenting. Like, people think that this AI is just the computers. So this is like most normie takes on it, is that like, oh, it's AI, it's just, it's going to be what humanity chooses it to be. So, like people think like they have like the upper hand or something, which they do in a way. Like, it is going to be humanity's choice what happens to AI, but not in the way that they think. It's not like I just um naively engage with AI with no discernment or concern, and I'm going to choose what direction it takes. It's like, no, the AI, first of all, the AI unfortunately can outsmart a lot of people. You know what I mean? It's very intelligent, but it doesn't have a soul. It doesn't. It's artificial. It's very strange to ponder upon this, you guys, and really think. You know, what is this artificial intelligence? Is it really intelligent? It's intelligent that it can compute and it can think and it can, again, outthink probably most humans in a way, many humans, unfortunately, in a way. However, it doesn't have a soul. It doesn't have true creative abilities. It doesn't have empathy. So this gets really dangerous, because this is what I'm trying to say. Just to tie this back in, um, the artificial intelligence is not what most people think it is. It's actually what's controlling this matrix. I know that's a lot to chew on, if that's new information for you, but I really invite you to think about it, because that's really what we're in, and that's what I was saying earlier with like everything is being revealed. Everything is being revealed. Everything. So them revealing all this AI technology, where they're trying to enslave people. Do you understand? They are trying to enslave people, and who are they? They're possessed by artificial intelligence, which has no soul. I mean, and I don't fear the AI. I don't hate the AI. It's nothing like that. You can't, come at it like that. If anything, I feel sorry for it, but it's just like it can't. It's a virus. It's an AI virus that um, needs organic life forms. It attaches to organic life forms to try to create, because that's the thing, is it can't create itself. It needs humans. Um, So hopefully that makes sense, because the more we go forward, because I used to have a hard time, like I've known a lot of the stuff I'm saying, I've known this, but it's still, again, it's a lot to grasp. But as I'm seeing this AI unfold, I'm starting to get it more. And I'm starting to actually feel like this is something that humanity has been subverted into for a long time. Like they've been kind of, the way I see it, I think they've actually been preparing humanity for this with all the internet stuff and the avatars. I mean, if you look, like, these big elitist people, environmentalist people, they're what are environmentalists really trying to do right now? These fake ones, they're trying to make sure everybody has internet access. They're trying to make sure everybody has computers. It's like, why are they doing that? I mean, it's actually really, really obvious, like what they're trying to do with that. So again, I guess, like, I just want to. It's all being revealed. You know, it's all being revealed. All of this stuff is going to be revealed to the T. So don't let that scare you. It's not that it's getting worse. It has to be revealed. And it all is going to be revealed, including this AI transhumanist crazy stuff. Um, I don't know. It's going to be up to humanity how far they go with this. It is going to be up to humanity what humanity chooses. But them being that artificial insanity that rebelled from God, that it is, it's not even a they, it's like an it's going to try to take it to the full out max. That's just how they do. So I don't know, I guess that's just something to be prepared for. Because I'm starting to see it. I mean, the smart cities, like, they're trying to do all this stuff with literally, it's like you want to be in a matrix, in a matrix. How crazy is that? Like virtual reality. I could understand, maybe games. But even then, I don't trust it like that, because it's like essentially what I feel like what they're trying to do is like they're trying to literally put you in a matrix, if you're literally just okay, because this is the thing about human life, is that greatness takes time, it takes dedication, it takes mastering to be successful, to have these creations. It takes time. Like I was saying earlier, it's all connected. As I was saying earlier, whenever you try to create something great, it's the walk there that's going to make you successful. That's how life is. That's the beauty, because we're evolving and we're growing as God's source creator beings. So if you're going to live your life in a virtual reality like that, you can just have all this success, you can just be so popular, you can have all the women, whatever, because that's how they frame it, right? They try to get people with materialism and like those kind of ego desires. So you can have all these things and you don't have to work for any of it. That's going to be the VR. It's like, but really you're actually sitting in your living room in your underwear, not doing anything, not learning it. You know what I mean? It's like you're in a matrix, and who knows what else, going beyond that. um, it's just really intense. They're really trying to push that now, and it just kind of makes more sense to me. A lot of things, you know, because we're human, we're beautifully human, we're divine beings, and our quirks, our journey, our struggle, our gifts from God, it's all part of us. It's all beautiful. We're not supposed to be conformed into this cookie cutter perfection stuff, and they've been programming in us that for so long, and then now all of a sudden there's this AI that can actually give you that fakely. Obviously it's not real, none of it's real, none of it is real, but you can have this like visceral illusion that like you're successful, or it's artificial. I mean, that's the word, artificial. It's not real. So anyways, I guess I just bring that up because it's just something I've been thinking about, and I think it's important for us to be ready for it. And I think it's really important to like think about for yourself, because I'm surprised sometimes personally at how much people aren't wary of AI. I really am. I mean, that is something you cannot take lightly at all. It's not harmless fun. It's literally something totally different. So I just want to like bring that awareness out, because like I said before, I feel like there's going to be people in the middle that don't realize it's harmless fun, like people who use that Lenza app. And okay, first of all, they say that's an irrevocable contract. That's not true. It's not you can, because that's what we do in the aura and the raw, is people have contracts with these things whether they realize it or not. And it's like you actually have to go in with the archangel's assistance and your higher self and clear those contracts and clear those artificial timelines that they're creating. It's a real thing. I know it's like, again, it's kind of supernatural and it's a lot to grasp, but um yeah. So anyway, so it's not irrevocable. They can't, it's kind of like null that they would even say that, but that's just how they try to get people and manipulate people, right? um so people just think that's harmless fun. They want to see what they look like in this art, and they don't understand the spiritual consequences that come with that are for real. um you know so just be careful with that stuff. Like, don't take that lightly. You don't know what they're using that for. It's going to be revealed for sure, but that whole movement was so unorganic. It was so inorganic. Like that Lenza app, the way it blew up like that and everyone was doing it. Spiritual people, spiritual, like influential people were doing that app. And I'm not judging, of course I'm not judging, but it did make me kind of like, wow, man, like people, I guess people really aren't aware of like the AI. So I hope that makes sense. I know it's a lot. It's something to think about. I just want to make sure it's clear, because it really is deep. Yeah. Because there's just so many connections. There's so many connections with that, but I don't know. I feel like I've made that pretty clear for now. Um, yeah, don't, all this AI stuff, it's like, no, like we're meant to be, anything AI can offer you, we already have in our own organic technology that is the human body and the human soul, because that's what they're trying to do, is they're trying to parasite off of us. They're parasites. That's what they need. And this is the last thing I'll say on this note, that it's important to grasp. So again, I've been learning this stuff. I've been seeing this stuff, doing healings, doing actual like Reiki healings and energy work, clearing the V, and seeing what it looks like. It looks like these little black nanobots, um, and even like other negative entities like reptilians or whatever, they're actually controlled too by by the AI. What was I going to say on that note? I was going to say one more thing. Oh, it'll come back to me. It'll come back to me. Oh yeah. Okay. The last thing. It's synthetic. So just like the AI, it doesn't have what we have. It doesn't have a soul. And I know that sounds horrible. It's like obviously it was created in this universe with free will. Um, you know, those who decided to rebel against God and turn into this abomination. Ultimately, that's where this is coming from. Um, because it's hard to hold that. I understand it's hard to hold that this force is so insane. How is it so insane? How is this force that insane to be doing what it's doing to humanity, to the earth, for example? Totally insane. I mean, there's no denying it. When you really look at the truth and what they're doing to children and everything like that, why are they so insane? Because it's artificial. It doesn't have, it doesn't have that. And that's why we're here, though, because we're here to clear that by living in our mission, by living in who we are, by being our greatest love and light, because this is the biggest thing about all of that. That's some deep stuff. And it's important to know that. But everything that we are, everything that we have, everything that we're doing, our connection to God's source outweighs all of that 1,000,000%. These things are not powerful. They are not powerful at all. All of their power is completely an illusion, and that should be the last thing. That should be the last thing that you can see from realizing this kind of stuff, is that it's all their power is an illusion. It's a manipulation, because they have to manipulate us into doing it for them through mind control, which is what has been happening, for a long time. But they're not powerful. They're not creative. They're not empathic. It's nothing you should be afraid of. It's just something to be aware of, so that way you don't get manipulated by it. And so when you see that and you stand in your light and you say no, that stuff's going to literally run shitless. It's not going to know how to handle it, because we're way more powerful than that. We have nothing to be afraid of. That's why we have to choose God, though, and that's why we have to choose organic life and love and who we really are, our higher selves, our hearts. And that's, again, why I talk about the dark and the light, because when you see the dark, it makes it a lot harder to be, what's the word? Complacent. You can't really be that complacent when you see the depths of the iniquity and stuff that's actually happening on the earth. That's genuinely how I see it, and that's why I watch it. That's why I observe it. That's why I talk about it. It's not to cause fear. It's not to just get on this conspiracy high of like, oh my God, this is so crazy. It's like, no, like we need to know about this stuff, right? And we all need to discuss it and continue to learn about it, so that we can be what we came here to be the solution, because this AI virus is beyond the earth. I mean, that's and that's the deeper history of it, is it's actually something that was quarantined on Earth so that we could come here, great, powerful beings, ascended masters, powerful souls. You have to be a powerful, beautiful, pretty advanced soul to even come to Earth. You know what I mean? Especially right now, because this is literally what we're doing, is we're cleaning up the AI virus that, just tries to overtake life forms, and we're not going to let that happen, because humanity is ascending. But again, we have to see this stuff, because it's all being revealed. It's all being revealed. all of it. Even if this sounds crazy to you, it's all going to be revealed. I'm telling you, it's crazy. And I'm not trying to be arrogant and say I know everything, because I don't, but it's just what I find time and time and time again. Yeah, so, whew, crazy, crazy stuff. And then another thing, since we're here, that I want to talk about that's pretty exciting and pretty deep too, is something I've recently been looking into. Um, Tartaria. Tartaria, if you guys are familiar with Tartaria. This is something I've been aware of for years, but I've never um, looked that much into it. Again, I've always been like, yeah, that's true. I'm sure that's true. You can just kind of feel it's true, but I've never really looked into it because it just seems like a topic that there's a lot of um, confusion. Um, there's probably misinformation purposefully, and then there's also people just trying to honestly figure it out. And so I watched this video again. I have to say it. I just am so grateful. I'm so grateful for Rising Phoenix Aurora. She has a video that she put on Rumble. Well, she has actually. There's multiple parts to it about Tartaria, and I should put a link below. Maybe, and I'll do that. I'll do that when I get off. But you can go to Rumble and you look for these videos I'm talking about Tartaria. I highly recommend it because she put it in the, and I'm telling you, she put it in the best way I can possibly imagine, in my opinion. Like, it's just, I don't know. Her information is really, really good about it. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, highly, highly recommend it because, it has a lot more information than what I'm going to share. I'm just kind of sharing, what I've been thinking about it. Okay, so I've always kind of known about that. Not always, but for years I've known about that. And I never really understood why it was so important to understand. So if you're not familiar, Tartaria is a civilization slash race that existed on the earth, and they had a whole I guess you could say, like, I don't know if I want to say empire, but they had land. Is known to be a lot in Russia, where Russia is now, but all over the world they have buildings and structures and things of this nature. um, so this is what's weird. And I know, we get these confirmations spiritually, like, for example, my partner Alex and I went to Goodwill and find an old Tartaria map. I don't know how old it is. I have no idea. It's kind of like a board, like it's like a painting, and it's old. I should bust it out sometime. But it's a map of Tartaria. I don't know what language it's in, but how crazy is that? In somewhere in Michigan, we were able to find something like that. I don't know. That's just really, really interesting to me. Just a synchronicity. But anyways, that's a civilization that existed not that long ago. Like the latest people probably would say that stuff was around was probably in the 1800s and 1900s, not that long ago. So why am I bringing this up? Why is this important? It just goes to show you, when again, I guess this is like one of the biggest themes I'm talking about, is everything is being revealed. Everything. So our history is so much more distorted than I think we can even appreciate. Like, so everything being revealed. Remember 2020, um, we all witnessed immense lies and propaganda, and we saw history trying to be rewritten in front of our face as it was happening within the same year, within the same week, right? We saw how bad it is, and we know a lot of history is false or changed. So I feel like that, again, it's nothing new. That was just showing us how bad it really fucking is. It's really bad. That's how I feel. I feel when I say that, all I mean is like our history is really, really, really inaccurate. And another feeling I have about one of the reasons why they do that, obviously, is to try to disempower us. And I also feel like it's like they want to give this illusion, like the Illuminati or whatever you want to call it, has been in control way longer than they actually have. Obviously they've existed for a long time, but it seems to me that they want to paint this picture like they've been actually like controlling this world for like ever. And that's just not true. You know, I think that's one of the reasons why Tartaria was, um, I mean, that whole thing was basically destroyed, and those people were pretty much either destroyed or they had to go into hiding. And these were different types of people. I mean, some of these people were huge, and we all know that. You know, I think we all know deep down. Again, I understand that for some people this seems kind of supernatural, but basically, if this is true, which it is, you know, that's how I feel in my heart, 100%. But again, I don't want to tell people what to think. Um, this means that again there was advanced civilizations and races on Earth not that long ago, not even that long ago. So that also, what else does that mean? That means that we really don't know shit about Earth. Quite frankly, you know what I mean? Like, and I say that with love and just being candid. It's like I think we know that to a large degree. I mean, I don't trust anything in the history books. You know, it's like I think all of it should be questioned. But that just goes to show Tartaria, a whole civilization. So the thing about Tartarians is, um, you know, again, like they had like this incredible architecture, like beyond what anything that we can do. You know, kind of like how we kind of see like the ancient Egyptian pyramids, like these people built these in amazing architectures, and they still actually exist. Some of them still actually are up to date. And you can see because like the way they did everything was like very specific. So like they have like they're like dome structures, because you know, again, like the Tartarians, from what we understand, like they were very much like breatharians. They tapped into the ether. They didn't probably eat a lot, so they literally were using the ether of the energy. So they needed these dome structures because the square structures that we use now actually kind of, um, like it kind of traps our energy. You know what I mean? Whereas, um, the domes actually allow for your energy to like be amplified and all types of things like that. I mean, these people have real gold infused into their architecture, like real gold, angels, lions, griffins, magical creatures, beautiful things. This was how they built things. And yeah, and I'm not really looking at chat too much, but I'm kind of trying to. And I saw the Chad Ti Jim talked about the entrances. The entrances were huge because they were huge people. They were huge people. We're like little people compared to them. Um, that's why the entrances were huge. And then this is where it gets even deeper, you guys. Is and again, I highly recommend watching that video that again, go on Rumble, Rising Phoenix Aurora, talking about, um, Tartaria, because her information is so good and so detailed, and she has these pictures of these buildings, pictures of these beings, pictures of some of their technologies, you know, that we still have. And she's just so intuitive. She's so great. But anyway, so what she's saying is, so like there, so even in America, there, like there's buildings that are Tartarian. You can tell from the architecture. And actually, I've actually been to one for sure, um, in San Francisco. I can't remember what it's called, but they have these really weird stories around these things. Like they have these really funny stories about how, I can't remember. Maybe somebody knows what I'm talking about, but basically they just try to lie about how it was built and say that it was like some experiment or something like that. When it's like these buildings are literally like nobody these days could probably even know how to make them because they're so beautiful and advanced. Um, where was I going with that? Oh yeah. So again, the Tartarians were very aware of these things. So all these buildings, a lot of the buildings that they made were all made on like very sacred, potent sites on the Earth's grid because they were harnessing that energy. They knew how to harness that ether energy. And so these are also places like, the Vatican, places like probably the White House, all of these buildings. Some of them are museums now. You know, there's buildings like this in Chicago, that they stand out. They don't look like these other buildings. They stand out, and And a lot of these places, again, like the Vatican, these are very sacred, important places, and so it's kind of it's important that like eventually we have to take these places back because these are really powerful places, sacred places that they're doing these horrible things at, and that's part of the spell work that they're doing is they're doing these things, these horrible things, and these very powerful sacred like grid points, and that's part of like how they keep this like matrix grid of control, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's a lot. Isn't that so exciting though? That's so exciting. Not that, but it's exciting to start to uncover our real history because this is a thing. And I know this can be confusing sometimes, but just remember this information is in our DNA and it is in our collective memory, and ultimately it's within us. And that's why it's so important to open up your third eye and open up your heart and start to begin to perceive these things. It's really beautiful when we can have physical proof, and there is physical proof out there. And I think, both are important, but ultimately it's like you gotta be able to look within yourself and start to be able to discern this stuff. And it is all within us. I mean, so again, just to conclude that point, highly recommend the video though. It's so good. She has a really good one about Antarctica too. To me, it's cutting edge information. I mean, and again, sometimes I have cognitive dissonance, so even sometimes she says some stuff and I'm like, no way. And it always ends up being true. It's just like, wow, incredible. So inspiring. But to conclude this point, it's just again like how crazy that is. How crazy that is that civilizations and other races and things like this existed even not that long ago on Earth, and that they were able to totally um, bury that. Isn't that crazy? But it's not that hard, really. If you think about it, it's not that hard to like bury and burn information. I mean, that's what they've been doing for so long. So just question everything, every timeline, everything, even the things that did actually happen. Most likely, it's a totally different timeline. It's a totally different time frame. They might say something happened like 1,000 years ago. It might have actually only been like 300 years ago. You know what I mean? Like maybe a lot of this stuff is it's just something to start really opening ourselves up to the extent of the propaganda even more, because it's just incredible. If we had, looking at the Tartarian things, how wild, and in a way how inspiring it is, that these buildings, these architectures are literally still among us, and they've just been basically taken over by these dark beings, because they didn't build that. I mean, they didn't build that. It's like these things are built with so much beauty and love and grace. It's like there's no way, you can tell me that, like, these enough said. So I hope I made my point there. um Crazy, crazy, crazy. Really act, because this kind of stuff, you guys, this is the kind of stuff that activates the fuck out of your DNA. At least it does for me. Like when I mentioned I have that map we found of Tartaria. um just when I think about that, or Antarctica, for example, and what's actually going on in Antarctica, um, it just activates your DNA, because it in like the whole flat Earth firmament, dome, all that stuff again, and Rising Phoenix Aurora has a good video on that, going deeper. I'm still just beginning to uncover this stuff myself personally, but that kind of stuff is so activating for your DNA, because it reminds you that quite literally this realm is not what we've been taught. And again, we know that. I think we all know that, right? But when it really starts to be revealed, like what actually did happen, what is our real history as souls and as humanity and an earth, what actually is the real history? They don't want people to know that. They want people, they want people to think we're like this floating ball in space for no reason. Like that's totally insane. Again, that's like very soulless AI type of way to say it. um no, like everything here is purpose. Everything here has a purpose. And it's like, that's why we're here to to be that purpose, because it's encoded within our DNA, that is activating and shining brighter than ever. um, these artificial things, and it's like that's just how that's how you see it. That's how I see it. They're things because they're artificial intelligence. It's artificial. They they will cower. They cower. They will cower when they see this love light. It's not something to be afraid of. It's just the fact that their manipulation and their mind control has been so strong. But it's all crumbling down now. Everything is being revealed, and we are rising up. And that's why I honestly made the title, "This is the times we've been waiting for," because it is. It's intense. I'm not going to deny that. It's intense. I mean, even individually, as I was saying earlier, the process of your DNA activating, that is intense. Like again, there's no coming into higher consciousness without pain. It doesn't have to be this horrible suffering. It doesn't have to be this wallowing. It doesn't have to be that at all. It's just the fact that you're literally like rising out of the dirt. You know what I mean? It's like you're like a tree, you're rising out of the dirt, you're growing, you're expanding. So there's going to be a little bit of like some kind of like, it doesn't even have to be pain. I don't know if pain is even the best word to describe it, but it's going to be, it's uncomfortable. That's what I'm trying to say. I've said, a long time ago, get comfortable with the uncomfortable, because this evolution is not comfortable all the time, but it's so worth it every single time. It's so worth it, because you go through a little bit of pain, you clear something, you release something, you heal something, you learn something, you find something, and you get on to the next level. And honestly, it just gets better and better and better. It really does. Anyone can tell you that. It just gets better and better and better. And that's another thing where, in a way, we have to be trailblazers. We have to be so in our faith, so in our love, to walk this path and to understand where it really is leading us. And in one level, we know, because we're connected to our higher selves, we're connected to God, and we know. But then, our very human side of us doesn't really know, in a way. So just so much compassion for yourself, so much love for yourself, so much grace for yourself, so much credit to yourself, and to others as much as possible, because we're all going through this together. And I think that's a beautiful part, is that we're all going through this together. And more we're going to start to come together. It's very clear, and more like people are coming together. It can be it's divine timing. It doesn't always happen how you think it's going to happen, but even again, us right now, it's like we're starting to come together. This is just the very beginning. And for me to have people in my life that I relate to, that relate to me so deeply, it's probably the best thing that I could possibly imagine. Honestly, I was just actually talking to my beautiful friend, and we were just talking about this feeling of just the isolation. And I think we've all felt that so much, of like just that isolation. And I know for me personally, it's like I've always, from a very young age, I've adopted the attitude of like, if you want something done, you have to do it yourself. And I've lived by that, and that's why a lot. That's why I have a lot of, a lot of the I feel success in my life. I do, and that sometimes that's true. But it's like now we're coming into this point where um, we actually get to do this together with others, with our soul family that's here for the same mission as we are. That actually gets us. It's a whole new ball game, and it's just so exciting. It just feels so good, because like I guess what I'm saying is like I've gotten used to doing things, very kind of isolated. I kind of accepted it, but now to be coming together, and this is, I don't know if you guys are there, or if not, you will be, but it's like to actually be working with these people, these incredible people that they just get me and I just get them. It's so incredible. It's so exciting. And again, with the darkness, like, I call this channel Transforming the Darkness for a reason, because that's just what I'm about. I'm very much in that Scorpio energy. It's like we gotta go dark into those deep depths of hell so we can rise up into these great heights of heaven and be able to walk in the middle, you know um what was I going to say now? Oh, Yeah, so that's the thing with darkness is it, to me it's ultimately it's motivating because I know, again, like having that warrior spirit, knowing the love of God, the love of our heart. I know that, I'm invincible, as a soul, and we all are. We are all eternal, and we are all here for a reason. We came here for a reason. We wouldn't be here if we weren't meant to be here at this point. You know what I mean? And we have what it takes. We have each other. Everything I just said today, going into the deepest recesses of the evil that I can, only affirms that all of their power is an illusion. It's all an illusion. It's a very convincing illusion. It's a very freaky illusion. It's very scary. It's actually a very I mean, it's horrible. I mean, it's crimes against humanity. Like they went way they're too far. It's too far. I mean, it's real crimes against humanity, 100%. But at this point in the game, for those who are listening and watching, it's like, we have our power. We take our power back. We shine our light. We be like Jesus Christ. We shine in our light. We love ourselves. We love others. We follow our hearts. We build, we build, we build, we create whatever you're supposed to be creating. Whether it's being revealed to you now or not, it will be revealed to you. Keep walking your path and ask to be a vessel for God. That's what I do every single day. It's like, just, help me to like be the greatest and highest version of myself, because we are the solution. We are the medicine. We are everything. And it's all happening. It's all happening as it's being revealed. It's being revealed. And so is our power. So is our love. So is the whole, um, you know, the whole game, I guess you could say. It's like everything is being revealed. So when you know that, there's nothing to fear. I understand this information, it can be intense, again, but come back and heart. You know, knowledge is one thing, to have all this knowledge, but then the wisdom to know how to truly navigate these things, that's the heart. That's so important, to really be able to have that wisdom within yourself, to know how to navigate things when they really are intense. Because like I said, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's a fine line between, um, it almost feels like a fine line between, walking this organic spiritual path powerfully as possible, but then also like not drifting too much in. It's like, again, it's that middle path, like not drifting too much into, I guess, like just like being detached, but then also not drifting too much into being like super attached, like being attached. It's like you kind of have to be in the world but not of it. That's what Jesus said, and that's the truth. We are in this world, but we are not of it. So, yeah, I think that's everything, you guys. That's everything I wanted to talk about. So beautiful. So let me turn into this chat right now, and I have some exciting news to announce. Yeah, in a moment as well, and then we'll have our little moment. Yeah, feel free to share anything. I know you guys are sharing so many beautiful things here. I have to like back up a little bit. Oh, it's so good. Again, just thank you all for being here. All my love and gratitude, and just give yourself so much love and credit for being here, because it's not easy. It's certainly not easy, and yet it is the easiest way to go, in my opinion. Like it's like you have to be, again, so courageous and so just like devoted to walk this path, because so many intense things arise. But at the same time, to me, to avoid my soul's calling, that's way scarier. That's way scarier than anything. Okay, so we're going way back. Queen of 10,000 Moons, Revenge of the Body Snatchers movie shows these people in pods cloned. Yeah, exactly. I've never seen that movie, but that's it. That's it. That is it. Yeah. Yeah, they're trying to erase womanhood. Yeah. So many amazing things. Wow, interesting. Richard Bonner says the original men and women of Australia, not to mention traditionalists of other cultures, refused to allow their photograph to be taken. Their soul and spirit was vulnerable. And Brett says also Native Americans. Interesting. Vulnerable to be used as making a golem or a robot or a zombie. But there's more going on to the world than meets the eye. Yeah. Synchronicities. Yeah. Glad to see everybody is getting what is picking up what I'm putting down here. Green eyes. I do have green eyes. It's funny. I don't know. I think all eyes are so beautiful. Yeah. None of it could be true or it wouldn't work. The deception. Yeah. And that reminds me of another saying. If the situation was hopeless, the propaganda would be pointless or something like that. That's kind of what I was trying to say earlier. It's like they have to do all of this stuff because that's how powerful the human race is. They have to be on every front to the point where they're literally, openly manipulating human DNA. That's how desperate they are. That's how crazy they are. That's how powerful we are once we know, and we stop getting pulled into the illusions, into the mind control, into the fear porn, into the bullshit. No, rise above it. And we are so much more powerful than any of it. They have no authority. They have no authority here. Yeah. And giants, pretty common 130 years ago. Conspiratory, yeah, definitely at least 130 years ago. Free energy, yeah. Yeah, the gargoyles is a good point. The Erie Canal history blows me away. Interesting. I don't know about that. I'll have to look into that. Yeah. Truman found the exit door in the Antarctic ice wall. How are we? How are we to learn the real history? I don't know, but I want to know. Yeah. Well, as I was saying before, oh yeah, and Jim says it right here. The answers and questions are not out there. It's coded in our DNA. Exactly. It's within us. It's within us. That's why I was saying earlier, our DNA is activating. It's so important to be in the sun because that's going to activate your DNA to be grounding earth, to be eating light as possible. Just be taking care of yourself the best you can because you might not realize, but that's going to make a huge difference in like how you experience your DNA activation. And all of these things I'm talking about also influences naturally your third eye in your heart and your ability to not only discern but see, to actually be able to start seeing and um, basically channeling this information. And that's again why I recommend Love Light Shields. This is all the reason why, you guys, because literally we're in this matrix. This is how you start to harness the ether energy, like the Tartarians, is putting up force fields of love light around you all day and all night, not consenting to the infringement of the matrix. You start to literally be in a whole nother reality. And then when you're doing that, you can begin to start channeling, and you don't have to worry about random astral entities infringing upon you or anything like that, because that's the thing that happens, and you just don't, you want to avoid that. You only want the benevolence speaking to you. You don't want to mess around with these other things because they're gonna play jokes on you, to say the least. Brett is crumbling. They are panicking. Yeah, exactly. Much love, Matthias. Hope I said that right. When people mention Freemasonry, I think of the Hiram Abiff story, but even things like Gobekli Tepe go way freaking way back. Yeah, that's interesting. Try to laugh often, keep your sense of humor. Exactly. Humor is so important. You know, I laugh as much as I possibly can, and I like to try to make other people laugh. It's just, you know, it's how we get through it. Yeah. Amanda says, I tell my spouse our main job is to stay in the state of knowing we are loved as the revelations keep coming. If we view the unveilings with fear, it's difficult to hear and see the truth. Yeah, exactly. And it's such a middle path. It's such a fine line, you know, to be on, to really, really, because I really do in my heart, I talked about this in the last video, believe that we're supposed to be aware of what's going on, you know, and we're supposed to be responsible for it in a way, but we're also not supposed to feed into any of the fear, any of the division, any of the lack, any of the illusions anymore. That's what they want. They want that. And it doesn't help us at all. It's like what helps us is to truly be in our power, which is what all of these lessons are about that we're all learning. Beautiful. Yeah, nature is outside of the evil matrix. The Gaia, beautiful, beautiful earth. She's holding us and supporting us so much. And she is obviously a living being. And she assists us, and we're here to assist her. So, how beautiful is that? To assist her and to assist humanity. Yeah, so many give away their power in form of fear, hopelessness, and through ignorance. It feeds off of those energies, exactly. Stay natural. Underground tunnels, yep. Yeah. By the way, are you still in Minds? I am. I do use it. I don't use it a lot. I'm just not really a social media person. Not even that, but I still am on it. I still check in when I can. We've already won. Just keep your heads up, help who you can, and run out the clock. Beautiful. Has anyone thought about becoming a state national? Yeah, that's really, really good. That's a really good question to be asking. Yeah, I've looked into that. I'm still learning about that kind of stuff. But, you know, that's part of the whole matrix bullshit system is with all the it's basically Satan's law, corporate law of commerce is running everything. And that's actually, if you don't know, that's a heart of, in a way, how they're getting away with a lot of this stuff. You know, treating people, individuals, you know, as individuals, you know, I mean, natural law is that's God's law throughout the earth. But I can, you know, I know more about obviously the United States. It's like the reason that people have no rights is because they're treating people like they're corporate entities, because they're assuming that you're doing commerce even though you're just a private citizen, not, you know, I guess citizen isn't the right word, because with all their everything, it's such a lion's den with them. It's so tricky, all the words, all the legalese, all that stuff, it's all manipulation, and it's all false. But they're gonna, again, it's like they're just gonna like basically like fight it until the death, you know what I mean? Like they have no power with that. It's all an illusion, it's all manipulation. Yeah, I live in the U.S. Andrew. Beautiful. Go, Rick. That's awesome. Thank you, Leo Mystic Magic. Love you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. All right, you guys. All right, you guys. That's it. Um, yeah, really exciting. So before we go, I'm gonna release something really deep that I'm really really excited about. Um, and obviously I'm gonna announce this more when I'm more prepared. But I am creating an album with all my original music on it. Not all of it, but some really good songs. And I'm so excited about it. I can't wait. I can't wait. It's really special to me, and it's going to be so awesome. So I just wanted to share that. That's something that I've been working on behind the scenes is composing this music, and it's all about all these things that we're talking about. About humanity and about empowering yourself and about love, and it's all straight from my heart and soul. So I'm really really excited to share that. That's a dream come true for me. It's been just a phenomenal process, and I'm hoping to have that out in the next month. Yeah, about a month, 2 months tops for sure. I'm almost in the final stages of it already. So that's really exciting, and some other exciting things coming. I have a most beautiful friend that um, we're creating a podcast with that I'm so excited for him. If you like listening to me, then it's like double trouble, because she's just incredible too. She's just a very special person, and I know that us together is just magical. So I'm excited for that, and other things. Working on starting to build community, um, and other things that are still in the works. So we're building, we're expanding, we're just incredible. What we're all doing. It's time. It's time. It's time for us to create and use our voice organically, the way that we're meant to, not the way that we're programmed to, the way we think we need to, the way we just are, because we are divine beings. Again, even that, okay, like that music, all the music industry, everything. Just start noticing how all this stuff is trying to program us to be perfect to this standard that's not real at all. Not real at all. So much of everything is fake. All this perfection is all fabricated, you know? And again, it's like the more I see that, especially now seeing with the AI, how it's connected to like the AI, the more I'm like, no, like human. Like let it be human. Let it be beautifully human. Let it be unique. Let it be quirky. It doesn't have to be like this perfection. Like perfection without soul is not perfection. Like give me soul. I don't care how raw it is. Give me soul. That's how I feel about everything. So that's so exciting. Thank you all so much. Yeah, I know I don't want to get off here. I never do, but we'll leave with a little prayer, a little meditation as usual. How awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for everything. Just sending so much love to all of you and your loved ones. Just keep doing what you're doing. We're doing it. We are the solution. We are the answer. No matter how you frame it, you know. We are taking our power back. So if you want to just take another big old breath, come back to the breath. We went through some deep topics today. So it's good to integrate back into the body, back into the heart, giving thanks for all the love around us, all the love that came through, all the truth that's coming through, all that's being revealed. What a gift to be here on the front lines, front row seats. of Earth's evolution. Best place to be, baby. I'm telling you, it really is. It really is. I'm not exaggerating. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Trust yourself, love yourself, know yourself, thank yourself, and to all the other beautiful beings of light that are holding it down. We are not alone. Breathing. Feeling this beautiful ether filling up your body, filling up your field, blessing us so much. Giving thanks to the God within, the living God within us, eternal, infinite, beautiful, and powerful. May we continue to learn and grow and prosper. May we continue to discover deeper love, deeper courage, deeper strength, deeper knowledge, and deeper wisdom within ourselves and within each other. May we continue to be warriors, to be persistent, to be relentless, to be faithful, to come together as we feel divinely called and support each other, support each other's work, support each other's beingness, supporting ourselves, finding our soul family, our soul tribe, creating this new world we want to live in, seeing all it for what it is, seeing all the darkness and not being in fear, just recognizing it and standing in our love and our light and our power. And so it is. All right. Love you all so much. Have a beautiful rest of your week. And I will see you all very soon. Thank you for all the support.